I arrived at Philadelphia International Airport around 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, October 10th. I was on my way to Phoenix, where my parents live. From there, we were planning to head out for a vacation at Disneyland. I was wearing black Dockers, a t-shirt, and New Balance running shoes. Oh, and I did recently dye my hair jet black. I wasn't carrying any hand luggage apart from a novel by Edward Abbey. As I passed through the metal detector, an airport security guard furrowed his brow at the book as it disappeared through the conveyor belt. On the cover of Hey Duke Lives is an illustration of a man's hand holding several sticks of dynamite. The 1991 novel is about a radical environmentalist, George Washington Hey Duke III, who blows up bridges, burns tractors, and sabotages other projects he believes are destroying the beautiful Southwest landscape. For the first time, it occurred to me the book may be a problem. Having passed the security checkpoint, I sat down to read near the boarding gate. About 10 minutes had passed when a National Guardsman approached. He told me to step aside, took my book, and asked me why I was reading it. Within minutes, Philadelphia police officers, Pennsylvania state troopers, and airport security officials joined the National Guardsmen. About 10 to 12 people examined the novel for about 45 minutes, scratching out notes the entire time. They also questioned me about the purpose of my trip to Phoenix. Eventually, one of the law enforcement officials told me my book was, quote, innocuous, and I would be allowed to board the plane. I was pretty shaken up. Another 10 minutes or so passed while I sat in the waiting area. A female United Airlines attendant came over and informed me that I wouldn't be allowed to fly for 3 reasons. The first reason, she said, was that I was reading a book with an illustration of a bomb on the cover. Secondly, she said, I purchased my ticket on September 11th. And the final reason cited by this United Airlines employee was that my Arizona driver's license had expired. Defeated, I went home and did what most guys do when they need consoling. I phoned my mom. My mother offered to call United Airlines and attempt to straighten things out. The central reservation clerk assured her that her son was not banned from ever flying United again. She booked me on a different flight to Phoenix, this one departing Philadelphia at 3:04 p.m. that same afternoon. I scurried back to the airport, leaving the Abbey novel, but home. I exchanged it for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. When I arrived at the airport, my luggage was again searched. This time, they took my Harry Potter book, and about 4 people studied it for 20 minutes. Finally, officials apparently felt reassured that I was not a security threat. They told me I would be permitted on the plane, but that I couldn't pass through security until 2:30 p.m. At the appointed time, an escort took me through security, while at least 15 law enforcement officials looked on. So they took me into an interrogation room and patted me down. It was a very small room, me and maybe 2 other security officials. Patted me down, checked, I was fine, no problems. My book was fine, everything was fine. I came out of the interrogation room and this official was standing there, surrounded by all of these security officials. His name was Bert Zastera. He was, I think, a United Airlines official, security official. And he said, look, I can't let you fly. We can't let you fly. And I don't know why, but I just got the phone call saying, United's not going to let you fly. So that was that. I said, well, can I get your name and number and maybe anybody else's name that I can, follow up on this? And he gave me his name and number, and that was that. And they escorted me out of the airport, and I went back home. I was stuck in Philadelphia. I couldn't go on my family vacation to California with my family, and so I was in Philadelphia, and I was unemployed at the time. I got a job, worked in a restaurant, waiting tables for a few months, and then I decided I was going to move back to Phoenix, and I had no interest in going to the airport, flying home, and I didn't want anything to do with that, so I took the train home. And that was a 3-day adventure.
That reminds me of the bumper sticker that I saw last week. It's my all-time favorite now. At least we're winning the war on education.